go
start.
ahead and get started.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to start at the very beginning on why we are even investing time and energy and intention and thoughtfulness into this ambassador program. It really bubbles my heart with joy to see all of you here. There could be many things you could be doing right now. Some of you are dialing in from the East Coast. Some of you are like in the middle, like ending your work day, but you chose to be here, not just for yourself, but for the change you're about to bring to this world. And it makes me almost, teary thinking about how many of you are so committed to the Silk and Sonder method and have, luckily experienced the value that I never knew that we were going to have. I've had this idea. I'm a small town girl from Santa Barbara, California. My parents were South Asian immigrants, and all I was taught was to work hard and study hard and get a job and build a safety net. So I did that. I ended up working in New York at a reputable investment bank, didn't like it, was crying, every couple of years, I would put a Band-Aid, I would find a new job. And then finally, I realized I wanted to actually change my life. And I didn't have anything, therapy was expensive and hard to navigate. Coaching was also expensive. Self-help books lack accountability. And meditation for me was quite frankly boring. And so I, did what I do best. And I just tried to piece together little things that I was reading about. And that led to the genesis of Silk and Sonder. And with all of you, we now are creating a movement. And I don't know if you saw, but unfortunately, 1 out of 2 US adults is classified as lonely. Loneliness has really taken an uptick since the pandemic. And what's so special about Silk and Sonder is we are solving this loneliness epidemic for every US American women from Gen Z all the way through boomers, but we're doing it in a very delightful and joyful way. So it doesn't feel heavy or hard. And so no matter what you're going through, like Silk and Sonder is here for you. And I think my dream, and part of the reason we've waited several years to relaunch this program is I think that when I read all of your stories in Sonder Club, and we have a whole channel, believe it or not, internally at HQ, but when some of you write your vulnerable stories in the club or in a review or on social, our team members actually screenshot it and post it in there. And I think that is when I realized, holy crap, we are really on to something so much bigger than myself. And in order to really solve this problem for future generations, but also for all of us to rediscover who we are when life throws us curveballs, it's really going to be all of you that help us bring Silk and Sonder to the masses. And I know everybody has a different incentive, different motivator. And so we want to make sure that Silk and Sonder's ambassador program feels authentic to you, which is why, if share a sale or if earning commission is not your thing, that's totally fine. You can happily gift Silk and Sonder. We have packs available at discounted rates and host parties or do whatever you want. But also if you want to earn money while doing good, we are all about that. So really just want this program to be designed in a way that's authentic to all of you. And I hopefully will get to meet all of you one-to-one eventually, but I just really appreciate all of you being here. And with that, I will quickly, actually with a show of hands, how many of you have perused through the Ambassador Toolkit in some way, shape, or form? Okay, awesome. And for those of you that have not, that's totally fine. I think I will kind of breeze through. I talk way faster in these than I do in my daily rituals, so bear with me. But I think it's nice to just hear a little bit more about what's in the toolkit so that you can reference it after this call. We're also going to be having a Slack channel. How many of you use Slack or know what Slack is? Okay, great. I would do a Facebook group, but Slack is basically just a little mini, platform that you can use to message people. It's really easy to use. We'll make sure you're wired up. You can have it on your phone. You can have it on your desktop, but it's kind of direct access to us at HQ. You will also get to have your little micro community so you all can exchange ideas and tips as you continue to share and spread Silk and Sonder's mission. So let me start. And as you have questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Mackenzie will kind of be collecting those, and whatever I don't cover, we will kick off our AMA. And Mackenzie, I'm just going to ask you to keep time because, as you know, I get way too passionate and might ramble a little bit. So feel free to stop me at any time.
I will keep you on track. We've got
Okay, perfect. Can you all see my screen? Okay, great. So welcome to our Silk and Sonder Ambassador Program. In many ways, I think of all of you as Sonder citizens. You are active in the community. You're helping engage our newest members and mentor them. And then now you are really stepping into helping us spread the message of Silk and Sonder. So what I want you to take away from today's call is very much that you are signing up to make this world a better place and to leave it better than where you found it. And so just kudos to all of you for being here. The intent is for us to reward our most passionate and engaged members by providing you all the tools. So we did our very best to drill down into tips and tricks on how to make the most of your Sonder Ambassador program. And again, you're going to experiment, you're going to explore, and things are, going to change over time. You're going to learn, but there's plenty of ways to get started and easy ways. So I'm very, very excited for you to give it a go. And I think, again, we care about your personal stories. The reason that we're investing so much in the ambassador program is because we think our customers have the best stories to share. And that is what's going to attract new members to give Silk and Sonder a try. So again, you're not selling, you're just being you, and you're helping, the rest of the world experience the magic that Silk and Sonder has to offer. So I'm going to breeze through this because honestly, many of you know all about Silk and Sonder and probably can articulate it even better than I can. I always say I am a power user of Silk and Sonder, but I'm not the super user. You all are the super users. You repurpose your pages in ways, you add color. Mine is black pen and a couple of days blank here and there. And I just give myself grace and keep going with it. And the coloring page, fun fact, I think I've done one out of all of them. And so if your journal is ever blank, just know that you're not alone. Even the founder and CEO has pages that are not filled out. But we included this section because obviously people might be interested in the founding story. I shared much of that earlier, but I think the one thing that's super, super special for me at Silk and Sonder is I really want to celebrate humanity again. And I think that is what Silk and Sonder is all about. It's really about giving members and even those that are not members a taste of what Silk and Sonder can do to help you connect with yourself so you can connect more deeply and more meaningfully with others, because we're living in this world where we're more isolated and disconnected than ever before. We're digitally bombarded. We've almost forgotten who we are at our core. And so Silk and Sonder is really the place to, showcase our curiosity, to embrace our authenticity. We are constantly changing and evolving as we navigate life's, ebbs and flows. And I think what this leads to is a deeply accepting and compassionate world. And one of the most things that I'm so proud of is we've navigated so many big events, pandemic, and all the things in the past couple of years. And even if all of us have different views of the world, we've managed to coexist and accept each other regardless of our differences. And for me, that's so special because it reminds me of my own upbringing, where I grew up in a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood. I looked different. My parents had accents. I didn't quite feel like I fit in. And so my first couple of years, I was constantly trying to dress a certain way or, look a certain way to try to fit in, until my mom instilled this confidence that, no, you were born to be you. You should never apologize for being you. And you should use this as an opportunity to educate. And so no matter who you are, where you come from, that's what Silk and Sonder is all about. And what's made possible from that is really, when life hits us in the face, that shouldn't be the only time that you prioritize being you and showing up for yourself, because we want to have a proactive and holistic approach to our emotional well-being. And we do that through our various tools. And when we show up for ourselves, you've heard me say this before, we show up better for our friends, our families, our colleagues, our communities, and most importantly, our world. And as you know, our world could use a little tender, loving care. So that's really my founding story, but I keep this note from me here so that you can pick and choose what you think will resonate for whoever you're sharing Silk and Sonder with. Our mission at Silk and Sonder is to empower individuals to reclaim the driver's seat of their lives, helping them discover who they actually are, where they want to go, and how to get there. I always joke that Silk and Sonder is really your best friend in the passenger seat. So when you are driving and trying to take a detour, we're going to bring you right back. But if you're going and you're going the right place, we're going to tell you to speed up. And so, I think this is really what we're all about here at Silk and Sonder. I include our operating system. This is kind of the ethos of what we're all about. It's a bit of a metaphor for the Maslow's hierarchy of needs in some ways. I wanted to use a pyramid, but it all starts with who we are. So who do we hire? Who do we partner with our vendors? Who do we make our ambassadors? We're all bright. We're all self-motivated. We're all results-oriented. You wouldn't be successful in Silk and Sonder if you weren't trying to, progress in your journey of life. And so all of you embody those core values and pieces. And then, we value many things, amongst them thoughtfulness and relentless optimism. We build across our 5 brand pillars: curiosity, clarity, connection, compassion, and creativity. So everything from our journals to our rituals to our affirmations to the club is all cultivating those 5 brand pillars. And then how we connect. All of you know that Sonder Club is not just granted to everybody. It's a privilege to be there. We're a values-based community. It's about acceptance. It's about kindness. It's about celebrating people for who they are. It's about supporting them in a positive way. And so whether you're joining a social or you're joining a club, this is very, very important to us. And that's why our ambassadors are more important than ever, because who you bring along to Silk and Sonder is really an extension of you, and you're going to bring the most amazing people. And that's how we scale community and keep the integrity of what Sonder Club and Sonder Socials and our community offering is all about. And all of this, again, I know sometimes Silk and Sonder can feel like work. There's hard questions. I ask you to explore areas of yourself during those rituals that are maybe not what you want on a Monday morning, but you go there with me. But the whole point is to really inspire delight, confidence, and empowerment every step of the way. We do that work. We do the hard reflection work. We do the fun daily questions and polls because we do want to integrate, both the heavy stuff when we're exploring different areas of ourselves alongside the lighthearted things that keep us going. I am going to skip over this because you pretty much know what Silk and Sonder is. And honestly, you all describe Silk and Sonder way better than we can as a brand. But if you ever need some nuggets to pull from, I think it's really important to share that Silk and Sonder is so much more than a planner and journal. We have all these things that really make the method go round. And ultimately, we help women reduce anxiety and stress, boost productivity, achieve their goals, and my favorite, which is winning back more me time into their busy days. So if you ever need like little nuggets or little messaging, you can pull from here. If you ever feel like you want to shorten it or you want us to help you, make it easier to understand, we're always willing to help. But now you have this community of ambassadors to also help describe what Silk and Sonder is, because I know in my experience talking to users, it's very much like words don't describe it. It's a show and tell experience. So hopefully you all will find creative ways to explain all that Silk and Sonder is. And why does it work? So a lot of you have talked about Silk and Sonder transforming your life and in meaningful and unexpected ways. Ultimately, it's backed by science, but the magic, it's the fact that we're powered by community. So, journaling has been clinically proven by psychologists to improve our overall well-being. We use various evidence-based exercises from personal development books, bullet journaling techniques, self-help frameworks, life coaching exercises, a lot of the things that therapists sometimes, send you a doc to print out or kind of jot down in your sessions. We combine a lot of that and we make it branded so that it's a little bit more digestible for users of Silk and Sonder. And that's why you see, improved levels of happiness, improved memory and cognitive function. That's why you're able to heal trauma, some of those harder moments, increase productivity, reduce anxiety and stress, and strengthen immunity. I've read so many people's testimonials on how Silk and Sonder's habit trackers and mood trackers and meal trackers help them in their various health journeys, physical health journeys. And Dr. Kwan, our scientific advisor, talks about the benefits of, mental, physiological, and mental health and how those play a role together. And so I use magic a lot, but yes, it is rooted in science. Magic just sounds more fun, but the magic really is because of science and the community. I'm curious, there's probably some of you who recognize these reviews that you've left for us, but I love these ones because they just talk about how life-changing, game-changing, and what a must Silk and Sonder is. So if you ever, are struggling for words or want to leverage these testimonials, they're in your toolkit. But look at Sonder Club, look at reviews, record your own. You all are the best advocates of the brand. So let's get into our overview. And sorry for those of you that this is super redundant, but I think it helps just remember where things are in case you need it. So we make it super easy to become an ambassador. You sign up, you get your exclusive referral link and code. You share your link with the people that you know, or even people that you don't know. If you belong to some virtual communities, I bet they're not as great as Sonder Club, but you probably have your Facebook groups or Reddit threads or Discord that you like. And then for those of you that do want a commission, and I know it has been quite a journey for me to even accept that making money is actually a good thing. It allows us to reinvest into our business and try new things. So if you feel a little icky, don't worry, you're not alone. But remember, like if you refer 10 friends, that's a couple fun products from Sephora, right? So, or that's your whole, like 10, 15 friends, you've got your subscription covered with Silk and Sonder. So I think, be open to it if that is something that you want to do. But if not, no problem. You can still get your discount code so that you can give the discount to your friends or anyone you know, and we will still celebrate you as an ambassador. It's whatever incentivizes you. And then, the one that we care about, which is why we're all here, and that is to spread joy and make our world a better place. That's what brings me back to Silk and Sonder every single day when I have the tough times, when I have investor meetings that are very difficult, when I face rejection, with fundraising and all of that. I literally open up Sonder Club or the reviews and I read them because it helps me remember why I created this in the first place. So just remember that whether or not you're sharing it for an incentive, you are spreading joy and making our world a happier, healthier place. Perks and benefits. So you'll get your personalized referral link. You get $10 for every sale. You get a chance to be featured on social media channels, our blog, leaderboard. Many of you have really interesting lives outside of Silk and Sonder. And so the more you share that outwards and tag Silk and Sonder or share that story with us, we're able to promote it in our various newsletters and social media channels and all of that. And we would love to kind of start a section in our blog where we're showcasing real life stories of our ambassadors and how they use Silk and Sonder and how they've helped spread the word. We are inviting you to our Slack group to connect with other Sonder ambassadors. Make sure you still, chime in Sonder Club. Don't get too attached to the Sonder Ambassador Slack group, but the intent there is to really share tips and tricks. There's fun ways, you just take your Silk and Sonder out in a coffee shop and someone asks you about it, those types of fun little nuggets that you all will be able to share with each other. I'm very excited for this, but we will be doing private Sonder circles with me for those that, refer the most. So we'll have different types of events. Some will be performance-based, but some will also just be fun get-togethers. And so it's a really fun opportunity for me to get to meet many of you. Direct feedback loop. You all have the best ideas. Silk and Sonder was able to reach as many people as it did because I spoke to the early customers of Silk and Sonder, and we helped design it in a way that really resonated for the majority of our customers. And so similarly, as we launch new features and all of that, you guys will have feedback to give on both the program, the ambassador program, but also products and features. Exclusive discounts on Silk and Sonder merch and swag, and then special ambassador only giveaways and contests with exciting rewards, some of which will be Silk and Sonder, some of which might be other brands, favorite brands. So more to come there. And then these were some of the questions that we actually received. So we plopped them into our ambassador toolkit. One of the ones, and I already talked about this, but Some of you don't want financial incentives. That is totally fine. You are equally part of this ambassador program, even if you don't have a financial component. Email us though, so we can set you up in the right way. We can give you the exclusive discount to share with everybody. So that is there. The second is I want to gift Silk and Sonder to friends before I refer them. How can I buy one or more monthly journals to share with my community? So many of you have talked about how the joy is really in the monthly editions, right? You don't want to necessarily gift the date list because you want people to experience the same exact journey that you're on. And so we have 5-pack and 10-pack journals, so you can host a little get together and it'll be exclusively available to you. We don't want anyone hacking the system and not becoming a member and then, just kind of like taking away from the essence of what Silk and Sonder is all about. But for you all, we are going to provide that. And it's just a really fun way, whether or not you care about the commission, I think it's a really fun way to even be more generous, and we're giving it at a very discounted rate so that you can make it a more community-driven thing. You can guide them and all of that. Is there a community for ambassadors to connect and share tips and tricks? Yes, we have a Slack channel, and our team always goes above and beyond. I know that not everybody uses Slack, so we will be sharing a how-to video. And if anyone needs extra hand-holding, don't be afraid to ask us. We're here to help. What website should I use in my Share a Sale application? This is a little bit of an annoying thing, but any public website, this includes your Instagram or your Facebook, that should do. If you do have a blog, you can always pop that in. Share a Sale denied my application. What do I do? Fun fact, when I applied to be an affiliate, Share a Sale did deny my application because I put in my LinkedIn, and apparently that's not good enough. So you can send our team an email, but what I recommend is you directly send an email to the Share a Sale support team. They're pretty quick to answer. And what they'll do is give you exactly why you weren't able to get approved. And if that persists, like, you should definitely reach out to our team. And then how long until I'm approved by Share a Sale? Typically, they say that you'll be approved by 5 to 7 business days. If you have any delays, we recommend that you just reach out to us directly. I do think that our team is making some exceptions here. We've noticed that Share a Sale is taking a little bit extra time. So we are going to do the heavy lifting for those of you that do. For those of you that don't need a commission, easy peasy, you get your discount code, you can get started right away. For those of you that are waiting for Share a Sale, if you want to just email us, we can give you that discount code, and then we'll retroactively give you, the financial incentive or the commission that you earned. So we'll do the heavy lifting. My team is here to help. We want you to get started. So there is that. I know I'm breezing through. How am I doing on time? Okay.
Yeah, you're doing
Okay.
great.
Okay.
We have about after we go through how to share, then we can do about like 15 minutes of an AMA session. People
Perfect.
have been dropping questions in the chat, so we can cover those after.
Great. Sorry, I have not been checking the chat, but I will.
I've got you.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay, so I was really, I talked to the team about this, and I really wanted to make how to share Silk and Sonder super easy and super fun, because when I started Silk and Sonder, it was hard. It was hard to get the word out. I'm not a natural person that like goes around and tells everybody what I'm working on or what I love. And it's taken me time to really figure out those tips and tricks. And so we kind of sat down as a team to try to think of our tips and tricks. And what I want to share is that you all will get to append to this ambassador toolkit, right? These are just ideas to start, but I bet you all are going to have even better ideas for the next cohort of ambassadors to leverage. So please, if you have ideas on how to make this toolkit better, especially this section, to help the success of future ambassadors, hopefully the folks that you bring in, they can fast track and become ambassadors as well. We would love to make this more robust. But to start, I think one thing is for the skeptics, right? A lot of people are like, I don't journal, I don't have time, I use my Google Calendar, or whatever their excuses are. Or others are like, I don't need another app, I don't need another community. I think you really want to boil it down to the fact that we're proven, we're trusted, we're backed by science, we're approved by therapists and coaches. We have, most importantly, customers in every single state across all the age demographics, and we've delivered over 1 million journals, which is a huge milestone. And for those of you in the audience who have been with me since the early days, what a journey it's been. But this is kind of a fun place to come back with the kind of truth behind Silk and Sonder. What makes Silk and Sonder unique? This is, you all know what makes Silk and Sonder unique because you can point to exactly why you love Silk and Sonder and what brings you back every day. But this is another kind of go-to in describing it. Obviously, we all have plenty of journals, plenty of notebooks, plenty of blank diaries, some of which rot in our shelf, but others that we use for other reasons. And so Silk and Sonder is really about the ready to go-ness, right? It's pre-made for you. It's beautiful. You literally can't mess it up. It's pretty for a reason. We've got ready-made trackers, layouts, and prompts. I've read almost every single self-help book out there. I've done thousands of hours of research in cognitive behavioral therapy, positive psychology, bullet journaling, and have just come up with the layouts based off of that. So it's, CBT inspired. CBT stands for cognitive behavioral therapy and personalized to you. You've seen plenty of examples. Many of you do this yourselves. You can repurpose every page if you really wanted, which I don't know if you really want to do that, but if you really wanted, you could repurpose every page to make it tailored to your needs. Guided programming and community check-ins through Sonder Club, Sonder Socials, daily rituals, etc. The novelty of Silk and Sonder, the new theme, the surprise and delight that you get in the mail. That's something that we've continued to do. And yes, it's a lot of work to keep coming up with new themes. So, maybe by 2025, you're going to see a little bit of repetition and enough years will have gone by for you to do loyalty again. Yeah, and then personalized to you and your unique lifestyle. And then last, Silk and Sonder is not just about slowing down. It's about taking intentional action to achieve your goals and giving yourself grace along the way and experimenting. But it really is this hybrid of reflecting, intentional goal setting, breaking down into smaller habits, and then planning. And some people use it more as a journal, some people use it more as a planner, and some people use it as a hodgepodge of everything. And so it really is tailored to everyone's lifestyle. This I won't go through in depth, but these are definitely the common excuses that we've experienced. So you might experience that too. Especially your honest friends who will always have an excuse, every excuse under the sun, especially I'm too busy. I don't have time for that. So, feel free to use this. And if you guys experience more, let us know so we can add it to the debunking myths list. Because when everyone else has excuses, we have answers. So feel free to take a look at this and let us know if you hear more excuses or anything like that, but hopefully not. This is really important in how to share. I think ultimately, if there was one thing to take away, in addition to the fact that you're changing the world, it's that your personal story matters. People don't want to buy a product. People want to connect to the story. That's why I share my story, because so many of you are like, oh my God, I've been there, or I haven't been there, but I can relate to a piece of what you shared. And so be you as much as you can. Think about, why did you even take the leap on Silk and Sonder? What are your favorite things about Silk and Sonder? What benefits did you experience from your Silk and Sonder membership? That is what is going to attract more people into the Sonder fam, people who are in rock bottom, struggling to just take day by day, all the way to people who are already living their best lives but want to level up. So no matter who you're talking to, you just need to be you and share your story. And that's what people are going to connect to. And by the way, this QR code will take you directly to our reflections worksheet, which we also had as a link in some of our emails. Who and where to share. So friends and family, obviously. I know it's a little tricky because maybe you're sharing some secrets in Sonder Club, but don't worry, we have plans to maintain that intimacy in a pod-like structure as we scale. But friends and family are the best because you can have your real life Sonder circles and Sonder socials together. You can make, while others watch football on Sundays, you all can do Sonder Sundays together with charcuterie and tea or wine or whatever gives you joy. So our tips for this, you can read through it. It's pretty simple, but my favorite is the host of potluck or ladies' night in or out. I just think that the world has opened up. The pandemic is hopefully over. It's time to reconnect in our homes with things that bring us joy. Do your rosebud thorn, do something simple from the journal, give them a little taste. And my favorite thing is we have plenty of experience with intimate gatherings. And so if you do end up doing the potluck approach, just email us. We will have a little guide ready to go so that you can be almost like your mini facilitator type, and actually go through some of the exercises together, and we can give you our recommendations and you can make it your own. So it's fun to have some thought starters and build that intimate connection. And then my trick here would be the next time somebody hosts one of these potlucks, ask them to bring a friend, and then they bring a friend, and then slowly, but surely we scale our amazing community. Anyone and everyone in my city. And by the way, if any of you need to remember what you ticked off in the survey, we can find that out for you. So if you're like, I don't remember if I checked this one off, we have those answers. So we kind of added all of these, but some of you selected a few of all these options. So take what resonates for you and skip over what doesn't. We have plenty of options here. If you need help with any kind of designs for flyers and things like that, give us a shout. We're going to slowly but surely build to the repository. If you're super creative and you want to create a flyer, and you just want Silk and Sonder to add some magic to it, let us know. I'm sure someone in this group is going to have even better flyers than we create, but Canva is a great tool to use to make your flyers. And then another one, this actually, I don't know if she's in the audience, but I spoke to someone who had this amazing idea of handing out business cards. So you can put, there's tips where you can create a QR code that directly links. You can put your name. If you need help with that and nobody in this group can answer, we're happy to help with that. Being a former software engineer helps. So all of our team is able to help with any of those technical glitches as you face them if you need them. Online communities and social. So this is the obvious, easy one, your social media accounts. I've already seen many of you recording your fun reels and videos that we've been reposting on social. So thank you for that. But some of you are part of amazing Facebook groups. So this is something, the future Silk and Sonder wants to introduce this concept around micro communities, but we haven't quite gotten there. So I know you have your mom groups or your sports groups or your alumni groups or whatever networks you have across Facebook and Instagram and other social media, as well as Reddit. This is a perfect opportunity to get many people to come to Silk and Sonder. And again, if you want to host a virtual event, happy to support that. We can send you a little guide. I think we just ask that it's done in an intentional way, kind of preserves the essence of the brand, but happy to help you in that journey as well. And then physical communities, my personal favorites, especially since we have kind of, navigated this pandemic and are finally out. There are so many networks that you all are a part of that you probably don't even realize. The PTA, religious institutions, book clubs, alumni networks, sororities, all of these things. And so thinking about, where all you're connected is a great place to start. And then deciding, where do I actually feel comfortable talking about Silk and Sonder and my story? That is where you start. So some of us, friends and family, might be the last place that we'd go, but something like a virtual or physical community feels a little bit more of in reach for us. And there's, fun ways we can explore this as a big ambassador group together, but someone might be like, oh my God, I'm just like going through a rough breakup, or I'm going through a divorce, or I'm having trouble with my teenage child or whatever. Perfect opportunity to share Silk and Sonder in a very organic and authentic way in the conversation. So just keep that in mind when people are being vulnerable and open. I think, at least in my experience, that's very much helped get folks to try pen to paper. And then colleagues and clients, we make for a great gift in those bulks. We can also give you guides to kind of tweak how you do this with a team where you want to be vulnerable, but there's a bit of a barrier. Our team does this very well. Although we do blend a lot of personal and professional, we still have some rules that we follow. So I think that's something that we can definitely help. And remember, like for those of you that actually lead teams or are part of a team, I always say that when you focus on someone's personal development, they actually show up more productive at work. And 86% of our members who have surveyed this actually show up more productive because they're approaching their entire personal and professional lives through Silk and Sonder, and then they're able to be more focused, more happy, and all of that. So if you ever need kind of additional research on that to have this reimbursed by your company, let us know. And then, yeah, some of you I saw are like event planners or educators or real estate agents. And so throw this in a closing gift, or share it with your fellow colleagues. It makes for an excellent community activity, but also an excellent gift. And that's it. So thank you for helping me, especially, but our entire team grow the Sonder fam. I'm so, so excited. This is something I've just been procrastinating on because I'm a hyperachiever, and with that comes like fear of not doing it the right way. But I'm so inspired. I read all of your applications. I'm so impressed by your stories. You guys shared so much, and just really excited to have you on this journey and help me build this movement and leave the world a better place and build the brand that far outlives any of our lifetimes, so we can be the next Disney or Nike or, company that's here to stay and change lives forever. So